going on, ArmA players? So, tonight, as you can see, I've got the M40 and I am playing solo. So, our mission on this actual server is going to be to defend this objective for as long as we need to, and then turn a little bit more aggressive and provide overwatch for teams moving into objectives and helping to sort of deter the enemy getting any sort of positive footing. Now, I've chosen Wisconsin to hold, as right now it is getting pounded by enemy air assets. And it's also in a position where the Russians will try and swing through at some point, cutting us off from Idaho and then swinging into Wisconsin. Once they've done that, they can push into Texas pretty easy because they've got 2 points of attack, Wisconsin and Maryland. So it is a pretty important area to hold. Now, the enemy Hinds are flying around quite a lot. They have been pounding this objective, so I am waiting for a counter-offensive to take place, but we will see. As you can see, the Russians are absolutely battering us. It is 1-5 to them in terms of objectives, which tells me the next objective they are most likely to push right now is going to be Wisconsin. They have completely surrounded it. They can move down this ASR onto this MSR onto the ASR here and move straight here. And they've got the MSR coming in from Ohio straight down here onto the objective. Now, we are very close to this MSR here. I need to be careful, and I need to make sure that I remain fairly static. We've also got the Maryland route, so they could come down this MSR onto the ASR and join in off this split here and move into the objective. So we are surrounded on most of the areas, but we will hold this position. We don't have any friendlies on Wisconsin at this time, and we are not in the most perfect, ideal place to actually pick people off or do damage. But what we do know is we have no friendlies on the site at this time, so any movement we see, we'll be able to engage. The hardest bit about this is going to be engaging somebody, dropping them, and then relocating. Because of the position we're in, it's hard to get a clear line of sight onto the objective due to the trees. So we need to play this very carefully. Now, the kit I'm rolling, as you can see with this camouflage, I'm trying to blend in this sort of darker green area with this helmet scrimmed up. We've also got a Glock 45 Gen 5, a grenade, stun grenade, all that sort of stuff, just in case we absolutely need it. So right now we've got a lot of friendlies coming in from Nevada. As you can see, we've got a big collection of people just down here. And we also have quite a few people moving up towards Texas, which is a bit of a tricky objective to try and capture. However, I have faith. But we have got Louisiana as well. That's quite surprising. So we've got Louisiana, that's good. Now, a really good place for a sniper on this map, when this objective is actually active, is Nebraska. Because there's quite a few areas where you can set up that's got pretty decent elevation and a good distance where you can engage the enemy pretty comfortably. Always find the positions that give you good concealment and the possibility of cover from fire if you need it. Alright, so we actually do have a Russian on this building. Now, we are going to wait for him. He's starting to cap. Going to be a tricky shot. But we do need him to sort of relocate himself just a little bit around this corner. When he moves, we'll be able to take him down. And they always move. The headshot is on. It'll be hard. Be a very hard shot, and I'm not too sure if this sort of grain here is going to affect the shot. Alright, let's move over here, see if we can take a shot. This might have to be a kneeling shot though. Potentially. So that does give us a better arc. Here we go. It's probably one of the positions to go to. So what we'll do is we'll hold this position still. Hopefully we get friendly helo support in. I'm using my right click just to zoom in so I can start spotting any sort of sudden movement. Be in this tent. Where are you? Eyes on. another one into him as well, just to make sure. So we got one there, we had one here, and they're probably going to be spawning around this sort of position. And we need to relocate. So we know somebody's got eyes on us. Alright, so we are going to fully relocate here because he could press us. And that would cause a little bit of a problem. So if we can maneuver ourselves, although we've sort of lost a good position there, we can move down here. Now, our tasking has more or less turned from trying to aid in defense to harassment. So all we need to do is harass this objective as best we can. There aren't any very good positions for concealment here. But we might be able to spot our friend. Well, if I was him, I would have been pressing me, and he is. Ah, I had a friend. It's unfortunate. I wasn't going to press it. This is why I should have had the old debt charge. So we're going to try and put smoke out here to make him look over there. Needs to just be very slow here. One did get out. We may be able to do something a little bit crazy here. Try and remove him. Alright, I know we're sort of bugging out, but we need to get into sort of an advantageous position here. What we can do is deny that vehicle. I'm any good with these. And if we maneuver ourselves up here, potentially we can get into a position we can re-engage. Potentially. We're going to ditch this, we're going to start making our way. on foot, sort of minimise our ground sign. Use a vehicle, it's pretty easy to track, very easy to hear. If I ever spot a vehicle anywhere just ditched, I always have a feeling that it's somebody lurking around or they've moved out of that position. So it's good just to move on foot a little bit slower. But I'll have a lot more patience, that's for sure. It's not all bad. Get to see all this amazing sort of visual stuff Armareforger has to offer. So one thing we learned on the Wisconsin objective, definitely shouldn't have gone down to finish that guy. Although from that range, shouldn't have been getting back up as fast as he did, but what it is. Could be an enemy healer. Hey. So I always try and go firm whenever helo is moving near me. I don't have to worry about IR server, but the hinds definitely seem to spot people pretty easily. You have to be careful. So a quick map check. So we've got to this position. Like we've got no one actually defending Maryland. Now, I've not actually scoped out Maryland Sniper, so I don't know if there are any good options. And from the rear. I'm using the lines that interdict with the mouse to try and find a line of sight here. May have to be in one of these buildings, which is a little bit frustrating. I'm not a big fan of being in a building. Sniper. Although, one thing that we could do is rig our charges on the objective, watch it from a position, then command at it. That being said, not overly sure they have a actual range signal there, and I might be just a little bit far away. I pulled out my pistol, probably thinking, why have you done that? If I bump into a Russian here, probably got a lot more chance killing him with a pistol than I do rifle. Only because by the time he spots me, he's probably going to be within 20 meters. I think it's safe to say we can probably push a little bit further out. Gives us a little bit of cover, at least. And straight away. So if we take a lot of fire, we're going to beeline it straight back this way. I say beeline it, obviously we're going to serpentine a little bit. Then we can also pop some smoke. So I'm going to pre-check. Well, we're still at a bit of an angle. The good news is we've got vision inside this building. Also, spot anyone potentially in the guard room. Access. Clear line of sight to these doors. Door here on the right. Main entry barn. As well as some possible approach routes. This one here. Good. So we're in a good position. Like I say, I am playing around. Move in. Spot here might even be better. This is not the position we were in, but position we've got. Breath back. Behind cover. Fresh magazine on. Fortunately, we're gonna take some kneeling shots here. Room. Down here. What's this side? Right to feed on them. Hitting. Oh, the ArmA. We've hit a few of them up. Fortunately, the rounds this distance did not penetrate the body armor. So this should work as a realistic one. 250. It's probably where my patience is going to play dividends again. Prove me wrong. So, nonchalant walking down this track. Let's go. Told you. Kill. This is going to be the longest cap in the history of caps. Done it. Got the metal road that comes down here, so part of the MSR. Objective might be able to pick off anyone in a soft skin vehicle moving down here. So although it's probably me getting a little bit lazy, we are gonna one last part of the video being on the offensive. We've done our job well enough here. Defended it, recaptured it, held it. And that's sort of how efficient you can be as a sniper. But like I said, a lot of people in games like this get it wrong. Want to be the solo kill guy. always getting kills and getting these long distance awesome shots. It's not really about that. Yes, you need to harass the enemy, do all that sort of stuff. But you also need to provide a lot of information to the rest of your team. This is an enemy helo, I shit you not. But yeah, you need to be able to provide information to your team. So that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that sub and thumbs up, it really does help. I'm sorry about the mic being quiet, I was just very tired. Anyway, I'll see you in the next.